let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue.
Flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let's see, relieve your stress. So yes, let the music soothe your soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays, happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. Are you ready for the Traffic Avenue? Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. An applause for the Traffic Avenue.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, Traffic Avenue. Oh yeah. Welcome to the Traffic Avenue.
More variety. City 97.3. Accra.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City
News. It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu, and tonight I'm here with
Inu Safo.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes.
People are abusing the Ghana card being issued by National Identification Authority. An electoral officer, Alhassan Mwalu, was arrested for using Ghana card, one Ghana card, to register over 20 people.
National Identification Authority NIA allegedly engaging in a frantic effort to register some people in Pusiga in an attempt to have them register for the voters card. That's an allegation by the NDC. We'll be interrogating that matter here on Eyewitness News. Also coming up, police moving to injunct an anti-Dumso demonstration of vigil planned by Yvonne Nelson and others. And later on Eyewitness News.
It's not only about the driver's salary. It's about their welfare, their farewell, their children and their wives. It's about the procedure. From where we sit, we think the OMCs are running away of the procedures of the NBA.
Fuel shortage imminent as tanker drivers commence nationwide strike to protest poor conditions of operations. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
Ghana's crude oil production declines for 4 years running, dropping from 71 million to 48 million barrels in 2023.
That's in 50 minutes from the Citi Business Desk. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a number of affiliate stations, including in the Bono region on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani, also in Ahafo region on Hammers 106.5 FM. in Goso. We are in the Western region on Premier 100.5 FM in Takrady. We are in Takrady again on Beach 105.5 FM. Another alternative in Takrady is Sky Power 93.5 FM. In the Ashanti region, we are on Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we are in Pando on Akpini Radio 96.7 FM. and Heritage 107.3 FM in Hohoe. In the northern region, we are on Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi. We are in Upper East on Word 88.3 FM in Zuarungu. In Upper West, we are on Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. And in Northeast, we are on Eagle 94.1 FM in Uwalewale. We are also live on YouTube. Look for CityTube. We are interactive on Facebook and on Twitter, now known as X. Use the hashtag City Newsroom when you send your messages. Tweet at Umaru Sanda or at City973, and the world will hear from you. Let's start off with the ongoing voter registration exercise, and the National Identification Authority has been accused. Before then, actually, we'll talk about tanker drivers. So we'll shelve that momentarily and go to issues having to do with drivers of fuel tankers. They have declared an indefinite sit-down strike demanding improved conditions of service. The vice chairman of the Association of Petroleum Tanker Drivers is Sunday Alabi. He's joined us. Sunday, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
First of all, this National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union, about how many are you?
We are about 5,000.
And are you drivers of a state company like, say, Goyle, BDC, Bost, or you are private tanker drivers? Tell me how you guys work.
We have combination of Goyle, Total, Viv, Shell, Goyle, Star, then all the OMCs.
Okay, so you work for the OMCs?
We work for the transporters.
Explain that, please.
Yeah, the OMCs are the owners of the filling stations, and then the transporters are the owners of the trucks.
So there are OMCs, that's the oil marketing companies.
Yes, so they are AOMCs, Association of Oil Marketing Companies.
And then there are people who buy tankers and give to you, so you are the drivers.
We are the drivers, yeah.
Now, these people who buy the tankers, is it like a personal thing? I buy a tanker like people buy a taxi and give to someone to drive and do sales. Is that how it works, or how do you do your things?
Okay, the transporters engage the drivers, and the OMCs engage the transporters.
I'm a bit confused.
The OMCs engage the transporters to transport for them, and then the transporters engage the drivers to drive these trucks to transport the product.
I see. So who do you have a problem with, and what is your problem?
Okay, we used to have problem with some of our transporters, and then our condition of services has been something that is in a bad shape. So in 2017, we went to the presidency, Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, to let him know our challenges. So he let the then Energy Minister Ajako and then Mustafa Tampuri, which is the CEO of MPA, to address our issues. So they couldn't address the issues before they left office. So when Amewu came to office, Honorable Peter Amewu came to office, we went to the presidency again, and an emergency stakeholders meeting was called for, and then the OMCs and the transport, Peter Amewu told the OMCs, the transporters, that they should go and pay us, and the long-term plan is that they have to create a pool that will put all the drivers into it. Because why do I say so? The UPPF price build up, the tanker drivers have margin in there. So they will pull out that margin and put it in a pool and pay the drivers directly. That will be a long-term plan. So when Amewu left office, and then Napo and Dr. Hamid came in, Dr. Hamid has done a tremendous job for us. He called us together, formed a committee. Energy Ministry was part, Labor Employment was part, MPA was part, tanker owners are part, tanker drivers are part. So we drafted this framework to work for all of us so that the tanker drivers can be paid and pay well. Their condition of service will be in, procedures and policies that will govern the job will be also in. Because as we speak, 40% of our drivers that are out of service are facing mild stroke. So all these things, all these problems have been taken care of in the framework. And it was a 6-month thing we did. So after it, we are expecting that by November, it will be implemented. So the new board chairman for the AOMCs, the new chairman for the AOMCs said that there are certain things we need to change in, but they are not kicking against the framework. And we asked, what are the things? They are not able to pinpoint what are the things in there. But we are thinking that the procedures that are in there that they need to follow is what they are scared of. So I know that in research, when you do research, if you don't start the policy, you cannot pinpoint that this or this will go wrong until the policy is being unfold. Then things you think is not good, they will sit down again and address it. But as we speak, they are holding us onto ransom. And we also know that the MPA Act 2251 portion says that when the board signs any document or approves anything at MPA, it becomes law-binding. So some of the tanker owners and the OMCs have gone to the board members to tell them things that are not right. So the board members have not approved this framework. That's what we are waiting for the board to approve. So we petition the president to talk to the board to approve the framework so that we can go to work.
I see. Okay, so try and again break this down for me so that it will make sense to me. I used the taxi driver earlier when I was introducing you. Someone buys their vehicle and give a taxi driver, go and do this job, this arrangement. Either I'll pay you weekly or you bring me so much or whatever. How different is yours? And why should the OMCs be bothered about an agreement you have with your truck owner? Okay. Because you just wake up in the morning, you go and drive a truck, carry the whatever consignment and deliver to them. Why should the OMCs be interested in whatever you're doing with your boss?
Ours is different from the taxis and the truck trucks because we don't go and make sales for them. It is the way bill you at the end of the day, at the end of the month, the OMCs pay the transporters and the transporter pays us. And then the MPA, the UPPF, the Unified Petroleum Price Fund, pays all these people. That's where the dealers get their margin, the BDCs get their margin, the OMCs get their margins, the transporters get their margin, and the drivers also have their margin in there. It's because the transporters who employed us, they add our margin to the transporters' margin, so the transporters will pay us direct. And because this is not going on effectively, all of the parties have agreed that a pool should be formed, a committee should be formed to take care of the drivers so that they can pull out the driver's margin from the transporter margin and put it in that pool to pay the drivers monthly. Because we know that is why labor was part. Directors of labor directors, some of them were in. So they advised that because if you employ me and I'm working for you, and we invite Kweku Menu to come in to do another agreement for us, if the two of us agree that Kweku Menu should come in, the agreement that we'll do with Kweku Menu supersede the agreement you and I have. So all the stakeholders have agreed that a pool should be created. The funds should be put in there. So the agreement we have with our transported directly is nullified. So the framework that we do now, that's what stands, because all the parties have signed and confirmed that they are ready to go with this framework.
Okay. That's clear now. Explain to me what the role of NPA is in this mix, if there's any role at all.
They are the regulators. They give these monies out. They pay the OMCs. So they have the authority to disburse this money here or there. So that is why we gave all the stakeholders, gave them their consent that, we are concerned. We have all agreed that MPA can pull out that margin of the drivers and put into that pool. That is why MPA is there as the regulator, so that everything will be fair. And then when we started, Mustafa Hamid made understand that the board is aware of what we're doing. So if the board approves it, it becomes law and binding. So that is where we are now. That's the crossroad we find ourselves now. That's why we petition the president to make sure that he appointed the board should approve what we have done, then it can be implemented. Because if the board don't approve it, the CEO has no power to implement.
The board of what? NPA?
The board of NPA.
So you get a sense that the CEO agrees with you, but the board is not?
Yes, because he has formed the committee, and we after the committee, We presented the documents to him. So he will send it to the board. So when he went to the board, he came back to tell us that some of the OMCs says there's something in we need to change. That is where we went back to tell them that the OMCs has no right over the drivers. Even if some of them have trucks, even with their trucks, they don't have right over the drivers because the OMCs, those OMCs that have trucks, the trucks are under the Transporters Union. So if the Transporters Union has agreed on this, the OMC has no right.
Very well. Please hold on. I want to speak to the NPA and hear their side to this story. So if you could indulge me and stay on the line. Let me speak to Mohammed Kudus. He is the communications manager of the National Petroleum Authority. Mohammed, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you so much, Umar.
What do you know about the grievances of these tanker drivers?
Let me say good evening to you, good evening to your cherished and wonderful listeners. Obviously, like the history rightly narrated by Mr. Alabi, this has been a burning issue on the table since my chief executive actually joined the authority. It's something that he inherited, and he decided to be directly involved in it because of the impact of their actions on the flow and access of the fuel products across the length and breadth of this country. So it is to that effect that he facilitated a meeting that brought the various interested parties to this whole conversation to a round table. And basically we are talking here of the drivers, the tanker owners, and the oil marketing companies. Yes, Ms. Anabi has actually alluded to the Tanker Owners Association being the biggest stakeholder. But some of these Tanker Owners Association are again affiliates of the oil marketing companies. So you are not able to decouple the interest. And so we brought all of them together and I had a discussion. There was a committee that came out with a document somewhere last 2 months. The date precisely that actually just escaped him, but it was just around the close of the Ramadan where we met again. And then there were some disagreements around some of the points in the document. So my chief executive said that, okay, so NPA as a body does not have a direct stake in this whole discussion because it is a private arrangement between the employee who are the tanker drivers and the owners who are the tanker owners and for that matter the oil marketing companies. And so the extent to which we can go is to create that particular platform, have a dialogue, and then we are all able to have a consensus on what to do going forward. So they were supposed to then conclude the discussion after having the disagreements on some issues that they felt were not satisfactory to one party or the other, and then get back to us. I have no recollection, and I've tried to check from my authority whether that document was finalized and actually communicated to us. That has not been done. And Omar, I think we ought to be repeating it. This is a private arrangement because at the time of the engagement between the owner and the driver, the NPA was not involved. And yet, like Ms. Alabi rightly put it, in the calculation of the UPPF that is used in paying the transporters, the share of the driver is factored in, the share of the driver's mate is factored in, the insurance is factored in, the wear and tear possibly of the car is factored in. So it's a whole calculation that is supposed to embody the various interest areas that makes up the transportation of the product from one location to the other. But that particular arrangement of paying the driver has to do with the driver and his employer, not the National Petroleum Authority.
But the calculation on a liter of fuel that I pay, you've just said that there's a portion that goes to the driver. How is that deducted and how does it end up with the driver? Do you send it to the OMCs or you send it to the transporters? What is the arrangement legally?
Okay, so it is sent to the transport owners a union. They take the money from us and then disperse it according to the various factors that are supposed to benefit from that structure. So the driver is paid by the owner. The mate to the tanker is paid by the owner. The insurance is borne by the owner. The repair of the vehicle is borne by the owner. That's how the arrangement is actually developed.
So your outfit, the MP, has no direct relationship whatsoever with the drivers in terms of their remuneration?
Not at all.
But how come Mr. Alabi is mentioning there that there's some decision that your board has to take, which decision is going to affect them positively, which decision is taking forever to come?
I'm not sure of that particular position that he has actually put across. But like I said, it is because of the interest that my chief executive has actually shown to their plight and welfare that he decided that, look, let me facilitate a meeting that would bring a closure to this lingering issue. And like Mr. Alabi said, it's something that has been there from 2017. It predates the coming into office of my chief executive. But he has decided to make it his business because there is a clear relationship between the action and inactions of the drivers and the regulatory responsibility of the National Petroleum Authority. So insofar as their actions could actually affect the distribution of fuel, if they have a concern, it ought to be his matter. And that is why, even though directly the condition of service does not lie on his shoulder, but empathetically he decided to want to poke his nose into it and see how he could bring a solution to it. That's why I said that, yes, there was an initial document that was arrived at, but 2 months ago when we met to have a discussion and agree and possibly sign to that document, parties to the same meeting had disagreement with portions of the document, and I think Mr. Alabi himself alluded to that. And once they are parties to it and they have a problem to portions of it, it is only proper that they resolve it amicably among themselves. And we've not had a communication since the last meeting to a final document, so to speak, for implementation at all.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us. That's Mohammed Kudus, he's communications manager of the NPA, National Petroleum Authority. Let me finish with the Tanker Drivers Union Vice Chair, Mr. Alabi, is still on that. Mr. Alabi, so what are the things that are going to make you get back on the roads?
If the framework, the document is being implemented, it will get us back to work.
Is that the only thing that is keeping you away?
Yes, that's the only thing that's keeping us away.
Now, have you considered the national security implication of this decision of yours?
Yes, we considered all that, and we also considering the national security of our members.
So, what is the effect of this your strike?
The effect is that we don't pray that there should be shortage of fuel, but where it is going now, there's going to be fuel shortages at the various points.
What that means is that you are not going to send fuel from the thermal oil refinery or any of the places we bring our fuel from to the filling station so that we can buy fuel from there. That's what it means.
That's what it means. Yes.
And this is a nationwide thing.
Yes, please, a nationwide thing.
But could there be tanker drivers who are, because you said that you guys are like 5,000, but could there be other ones who are not in your union who can serve us? Because now I'm worried.
Yeah, nobody outside us can serve you.
Interesting. Thank you. And please expedite the negotiations so that you can come back on the road so we can get fuel in our cars.
We also pray so.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. That's Sunday Alabi. He is the vice chairman of the Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union. And we have a related story, don't you?
I do. Members of the Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union in the Ashanti region have complied with the indefinite nationwide strike. At the Kumasi depot of the bulk oil storage and transportation, tanker drivers have parked their cars as they fully comply with the directive by their leadership to embark on a sit-down strike. Edmund Baba is chairman for the Middle Belt Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union.
The situation in Kumasi is not different from what is happening in the whole nation. As it stands, you can see how the whole place is Hitherto, you would have come to see drivers here all over the place, but it's like because of the strike, everyone is at home. It is a serious thing, and actually everybody is serious about it. So we are on a sit-down strike.
So which of the products are we seen to be affected?
Oh, it's all the product. Anything that is highly inflammable. We talk about diesel, petrol, gas, bitumen, and what have you. Anything that is highly inflammable, that is transported by tanker. The anticipated effect, as you know, is that tanker, as you see, you know, we are one of the holders of the economy. If only the government doesn't listen to what we are talking about, you know what will happen if the country runs dry. I say it when the country runs dry because if tankers stop, since we have stopped supplying, at a time in point, the filling stations will run out of fuel. So at that moment, we say the country has run dry.
Edmund Baba is chairman for the Middle Belt, Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union, in that interview with our Ashanti regional correspondent, Hafiz Tijani.
City 97.3. More variety.
There are some classy celebrations that call for whipping out your favorite China sets. Same goes for your luxury vehicle. Just any engine oil won't do. Premium understands premium best. The new Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP with carbon neutral properties is the one for your premium car. It's a fully synthetic motor oil designed using the Shell Pure Plus technology. Prevents dirt buildup with exceptional cleaning power, leaving your pistons cleaner than a whistle up to 50% more than the industry standard and gives you stronger, long-lasting engine performance. So, if you want your classic car to run smoothly like a Ferrari for years to come, use the Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP with carbon neutral properties. Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP, designed for ultimate engine performance.
KB, aka Kubeboga, now drives a Bugatti. He can even travel by road from Accra to London. Oh, wow. KB's source of wealth is agriculture. Yes, coconut business. After losing his bank job, he started supplying coconuts at events. Now, he owns large coconut plantations and employs many young people. Charlie, we all need to trust the process, because hope day.
There has never been a better time to enter into agribusiness. Take a bold step today with the Ghana Grows program, because every step pays. Ejuma Wokrom, Ghana Grows, Hope Day, an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation and Limehouse.
Choboy! Yeah. We have a new leader in town. Obiarenti. Amanfo. Madam was Sibebre. When him say my baby, maybe more charcoal for whiter teeth. More charcoal. Not only that, maybe lemon. More lemon. Zinc for fresher breath. More zinc. And fluoride for stronger teeth.
Introducing the new President Charcoal Pack with more power with a combination of charcoal and lemon for naturally whiter teeth. Grab yours now. This advert is FDA approved.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Cause and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that. Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panza. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman. Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM, broadcasting from Adabraka in Accra. Let's talk about the ongoing registration of voters. The NDC is making an allegation that is roping in the National Identification Authority in what is happening. And it says that something fishy is happening in the Pusiga constituency of the Upper East region. Dr. Rashid Tanko, computer, is the Deputy Director of Elections of the NDC. He's joined us on the line. Sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. What is this allegation you're making in Pusiga relating to the NIA?
Thank you, Sandra. Let me greet you and your listeners. Good evening. It came to us as a surprise, a statement issued by NIA that they are going to do registration along the borderline of Pusiga, that share border with Togo, and it's starting on the 20th of that is yesterday, up to 30th of this month. Coming on the heels of what happened in Pusiga last week after we held our press conference, which was addressed by our General Secretary, Honorable Kuti, about people using fake ID cards, Ghana cards, to register in Pusiga. And one of the officers of the Electoral Commission was arrested for using fake Ghana cards to register over 20 people. In fact, just yesterday, the Electoral Commission issued a statement affirming our position on that yes, their officer was complicit in the process. He didn't take time to look at the cards, and he realized that they were fake ID card numbers, Ghana card numbers, which were used to register 17 people. And even the Electoral Commission indicted itself in that statement by saying that those people were rather registered through the guarantor system, instead of them to make sure that those 17 people were arrested for bringing fake Ghana cards to register. And they were realized that they were fake Ghana card numbers. They rather allow them to register through the guarantor system in their statement. So the Electoral Commission itself is even complicit in allowing people to use this process. And so we are saying that this thing the NIA is doing is trying to legalize the illegality going on at Pusiga area. Because those people they back in didn't have Ghana cards. Some were holding fake Ghana cards. And we asked our agents to make sure that they challenge those people. That led to the press conference where we talk about the abuse of the Ghana card. And so for the NIA to rush in to now legitimize it by saying that we are going to do registration, and look at the towns they mentioned, that they were going to do this thing, the Ghana cards for them, so that they can use those Ghana cards to go and enroll into the register of the Electoral Commission. That is unfair.
Is the National Identification Authority not conducting any decentralized registration anywhere in the country, as far as
they
you know?
They are not doing any registration as of now. They are not doing anywhere. Their statement is very clear that they are doing a pilot work with IOM, that is International Organization of Migration, that they are doing pilot work. Why do you wait when the Electoral Commission is doing their exercise at this crucial moment, and then you go there and be piloting at a place where we have issues with the Electoral Commission over the use of fake Ghana cards?
And they are saying they're doing this IOM project only in Pusiga.
As of now, that is what they are doing.
Okay, how special is Pusiga? Is Pusiga an MPP stronghold, for which reason you're concerned? Because if it's not, then why are you worried?
We are not concerned about the numbers that we use to win, but we are concerned about the sanctity of our electoral process. Somebody somewhere is trying to use the state to manipulate the electoral process, and that is why we are concerned.
Okay.
Because rigging of election is not an event, it's a process.
Rashid, if the law says you can only obtain a voter card if you have a Ghana card, and the NIA, and you can determine that the officers who are there doing the registration are legitimate officers of the NIA who are engaging in lawful duty, then what is a big deal? What is wrong if NIA is conducting its registration? Must NIA cease all its activities simply because EC is conducting an exercise? Which exercise you are questioning? Can the two state institutions work parallel to each other?
Thunder, far from that. Aflawa is a border town. Hamili is a border town. Tatali is a border town. In fact, if you come to Saboba area, there are border towns there. Why is the NIA not sending their machines to those border towns to do the registration? But they are rather concentrating in Pusiga. That is the question we should be asking them. Why are they interested in Pusiga? But these border towns that we have, there are also Ghanaians there. If they think that they are interested in registering Ghanaians along the borderline, they should go to those areas. I'm just mentioning.
But what is wrong if they use Pusiga, which is a border town, just like all the other towns? If they had used Banda, or you had used Hamile, or had used Ketu South, you could have still complained if they had used Elembele. So what's wrong? Ultimately, they have to use somewhere, and that's why they've chosen there.
I'm saying that there's something wrong because coming on the heels of the problems that we had with the registration, and Electoral Commission officer was even arrested for using fake Ghana cards.
Can that be an issue in isolation that can be dealt with separately? Why are you joining the two when, in fact, is an EC that is showing that this Ghana card that was used is fake? Now, if there's a need to, and again, Ghana card is not the only sole means, or it's not the only means of registering. People could use a guarantor system. So if you think that there's a plot, I'm just wondering, they could have used a guarantor system, which is also allowed under our laws. Why must they go and set up an NI system just to produce Ghana cards for people? They could have brought guarantors from the neighboring constituencies if there weren't enough people in Pusiga to do that, don't you think?
Thunder, they tried a guarantor system because the people were not qualified. Who was to guarantee for them to register? Because they are not Ghanaian. They didn't have anybody to guarantee for them. The first bus they brought, the bus load of people they brought to register initially, when they were driven away because they didn't have Ghana cards. And they wanted to use the guarantor system. Unfortunately, nobody was ready to guarantee for them because they don't know them. So having seen that they can't use the guarantor system and they also don't have passport, the only window left for them is the Ghana card. And that's why they quickly arranged with the NIA to go and do this kind of work, to give them the Ghana card so that they can now legitimize themselves to come and register. That is what they are doing.
The process for registering for the Ghana card can be opposed to or protested to. Why don't you deploy that?
They have not given it the option to deploy agents for that one. You know it. This Ghana card thing that they are doing. There is no window for parties to send agents there. Unlike the Electoral Commission, where the CI is very clear as to how to go and challenge the process. This one, you are not an agent. The parties are not involved.
Your call has been put on hold. Please wait.
Apologies, but you are listening there to Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer. He is Deputy Director of Elections of the Opposition National Democratic Congress. Salaries of all workers have been swallowed up by the epileptic fall of the cedi coupled with the galloping inflation we are experiencing under this government, the decision of the Tanker Drivers Association to demand for better conditions of service is in the right step. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Please stay with us.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
The other day, I visited Baku at his funky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
it's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Shout! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
In a world where only the best survives, you need a fuel that can match your drive. A fuel with unparalleled protection for your engine, superior efficiency, and unrivaled performance. A fuel so unbeatable, when you get behind the wheel, you'll focus on what really matters. The journey ahead. That fuel is Shell V-Power, because no other fuel gives your engine better protection, better efficiency, and better performance. Be unbeatable. Drive unbeatable. Shell V-Power. Shell, go well.
KB, aka Kubeboga, now drives a Bugatti. He can even travel by road from Accra to London. Wow! KB's source of wealth is agriculture. Yes, coconut business. After losing his bank job, he started supplying coconuts at events. Now, he owns large coconut plantations and employs many young people. Charlie, we all need to trust the process, because hope day.
There has never been a better time to enter into agribusiness. Take a bold step today with the Ghana Grows program, because every step pays. Ejuma Wokrom, Ghana Grows, Hope Day, an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation and Limehouse.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Just gone by, you heard us do an interview with Dr. Rashid Tanko, computer of the NDC, alleging some underhand dealings, they say, is happening in the procedure. Meanwhile, the Electoral Commission has been addressing the press today on a number of issues arising from the registration. A deputy chairperson of the commission, Samuel Tete, is the one who addressed the media. Let's listen to him.
The commission, as at Sunday, has registered 522,025. So at the end of the 13th day of the registration exercise, the following are the total number of registered voters for each region and the percentages. So Greater Accra has registered 74,420, representing 14.3%. The Northeast, 14,147, representing 2.7%. Upper East, 20,135, representing 3.9%. Northern, 47,948, representing 9.2%. And Bono, 20,886. Bono East, 20,861. Volta, 86. Upper West 15,000. Central region 56,141, representing 10.8%. Ahafu 10,801, 2.1%. Ashanti 90,490, Western North 16,225, representing 4.1%. Oti 14,844, 2.8%. Savannah 12,767, and Western
date for the vigil. They've also said that it's going to be at the Revolution Square near the Jubilee House. And it appears that the police are not particularly happy with this position, and the police have gone to court. Selom Dramani Dramado is one of the organizers of this particular vigil. He's joined us on the line. Sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much, and thanks for the opportunity.
So, good
evening to your listeners.
Good evening to you. What date were you planning to work with for this vigil?
25th May 2024. That's Saturday.
So African Union Day. That's AU Day. Yeah. So you're planning to do it where?
The Revolution Square.
It's not a walk. It's not going to be a march like you did in 2014 where people walk from the Legon roundabout to the Accra Mall. That's not the kind of thing you're going to do.
No, please.
Talk to me about talk to me about your plan for the day.
We'll just be converging at the Revolution Square, holding our lanterns and our torchlights, demonstrating our frustrations and disappointment by the doomsday situation in the country.
The president spoke on May Day and said to us that doomsday was over. Is your demonstration of vigil not outdated?
No, please, because ever since the president spoke, doomsday has still been rearing its ugly head across the country. So it means that the current situation has sharply contradicted what the president was furnished with.
I see.
It just means that the president is not on top of the energy situation in the country.
Okay. You wrote to the police. What did they say to you?
We complied with the public order at which enjoins us to notify the police. So we did so by writing to the IGP. The IGP called on us to liaise with the Greater Accra Regional Police Command. The Greater Accra Regional Police Command invited us for a meeting. We complied. We honored that invitation, and then it was to discuss the modalities for holding the vigil. So they expressed their concerns about the security concerns that they had with the venue and the time we plan to disperse, which was at 12 midnight. So we told them that, okay, we're ready to vary the time. So we changed the time from 8:30 a.m. To 2 p.m. and then 10 p.m. So it means that the event will now take place 2 p.m. and will end at 10 p.m. But we're still sticking to the venue, the Revolution Square as the venue, because we clearly spelled out why we chose the Revolution Square, because of its proximity to the presidency or the seat of government and its historical significance. These two things are very critical to our mobilization on that day.
Now that they've said it is a security zone, I believe you agree with them?
The police never said in their application praying for injunction that the Revolution Square is a security zone. The police have still maintained that the Jubilee House is the security zone, not the Revolution Square. Because there's a distinction.
So is near near the Jubilee House, which is a security zone. That's their difficulty.
Okay, so yes, so that is why I always say that the best pilot is the one who is able to to pilot through a stormy weather and land peacefully. So the police are just being, I wouldn't say lazy, but just not being ready to, police people around security installations. The police should now realize that it is time for them now to be able to be doing that. Even if people want to gather within the inner perimeter of the Jubilee House, the police should be ready to do that. Our democracy should be idiot-proof. Our democracy should be idiot-proof.
Explain that, please.
When I say the democracy should be idiot-proof, it means that we should be able to build this democracy to stand any situation, to stand any condition at all.
And you call it what?
Idiot-proof.
It means it should be able to withstand idiots.
It should be able to stand any situation, please.
Yeah, but you use idiots. I want to be sure what you are driving at, because it sounds offensive, but I want to be sure what you are intending to put.
I am saying idiot-proof.
It's fine. Was this a motion or notice, or was an ex parte one? Which means can you go into the court and also argue, or the court?
I don't see no notice. Maybe I told you. I think one of your colleagues, I told you one of your colleagues that will not accept any application by the police expertise. We will disregard it, treat with utter contempt.
No, that's not up to you. If the court respects and listens to them and the decision is taken, that one you don't really have a choice. But it's good you said that it's on notice, so you're going to defend in court. You're going to argue in court.
Sure.
Okay. When is that? Because the 24th is
that
what?
That will be 24th May. So it's Friday.
23rd. You mean 20? Oh, okay, 24th. Okay. So on Friday you know whether the court will allow you or not.
We are unable to state that for now.
That's what I'm saying. It's only on Friday that you can determine whether you can proceed on Saturday or not.
Absolutely.
People who want to support you, though, should they hold on and wait, or they should start buying their lanterns and candles?
Okay. I think we are law-abiding. I believe we are law-abiding people. So let's wait for the outcome of the court ruling.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
You're welcome, Omaro.
That's Selam Dramani Jamado. He's one of the organizers of the Doomsday Vigil plan for this Saturday. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Eno.
The majority in Parliament says the allegation of recruitment of NPP foot soldiers into the security services reflects the group's misunderstanding of the operational and financial framework of the security services. The Minority Caucus on Monday accused the government of allocating 30 slots to all parliamentary candidates of the NPP for recruitment into the security services in a bid to compromise the December elections. Addressing journalists, the Deputy Majority Leader, Patricia Piaget, says such unfounded claims aims to provoke unwarranted tension and incite public disfavor against the government.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens. Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. City Business News. Be informed.
Time now for City Business News on Eyewitness News, brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan, make that big move and dream a reality. My name is Inosafa. Let's settle for the details. Ghana's crude oil production declined for the fourth consecutive year, dropping from the 71.44 million barrels recorded in 2019 to 48.25 million barrels in 2023. The annual average rate of the decline during the 5-year period is estimated to be 9.2%. The country raked in $1.06 billion in petroleum revenue under the year under review. However, total proceeds from the Jubilee Oil Holding Limited liftings received in 2023, which amounted to $70 million, was not paid into the Petroleum Holding Fund for the second year running. These findings were contained in the 2023 Public Interest and Accountability Committee Annual Report. Here is Chairperson of PIAC, Emerita Professor Elizabeth Adefio Shandorf, with highlights of the report at its launch.
Crude oil production declined for the fourth consecutive year in 2023. Production dropped from a high of 71.44 million barrels in 2019 to 48.25 million barrels in 2023, representing an annual average decline of 9.2%. Secondly, the total proceeds from JOHL, that is the Jubilee Oil Holding Limited, liftings received in 2023, amounting to over $70 million were not paid into the Petroleum Holding Fund for the second consecutive year. This brings the cumulative proceeds of unpaid revenue into the Petroleum Holding Fund by JOHL to over $303 million at the end of 2023.
Emerita Professor Elizabeth Adefio Shandorf is chair of PIAC. Ghana's foreign direct investment for 2023 fell to $649.58 million from the previous year's $1.35 billion. This translates to a more than 50% decrease, according to data from the Ghana Investment Promotion Center. Here's more.
In total, the investment anticipated to create over 13,000 jobs at full operational capacity. Of these positions, a little over 12,000, representing 89.22%, are designated for Ghanaians, while the remaining close to 1,500, or 10.78%, are allocated for non-Ghanaians. Among the 122 registered projects, 90 are wholly foreign-owned, while 32 are joint ventures. The manufacturing sector leads with 50 projects, followed by the services with 43 projects and export trade with 10 projects. In terms of foreign direct investment value, the manufacturing sector attracted the highest amount, totaling $280.24 million. Following closely are the services sector with $226.29 million and the general trade sector with $75.17 million in FDI. Among the countries contributing to these investments, China leads with 31 projects, bringing in the highest FDI of $211.89 million. The USA follows with 14 projects and an FDI of $26.39 million.
The ongoing tendering processes for importers and suppliers of LPG products is a move expected to significantly reduce the price of LPG. The program, since its implementation by the National Petroleum Authority, has already reduced the premium on the purchase of LPG from $100 per metric ton to $30 per metric ton. In an interview with Citi Business News, the head of communications for NPA, Mohammed Abdul Kudus, wants consumers to exercise restraint as the full impact of the program will soon be felt.
At least 60% of the consuming public by 2030 move from charcoal or to LPG. How do we get to do that? One, we need to make it available, and that is why we're trying to ensure that it is all year round available. Two, we need to make it accessible, and that is why we are introducing the CRM so that you do not need to have access to it. And then the third one has to do with the price of it. So we are introducing innovative methods to see how we can bring the price down as we work with the government to see the possibility of tinkering with some of the taxes and levies on the product. So we started it in April. Many have asked that they want to immediately begin to feel the impact of the reduction that we've gotten out of the tender. I appreciate that it is going to be a gradual process, and we will actually be getting there.
Mohammed Abdul Kudus is the head of communications for the National Petroleum Authority. Customers of defunct Gold Coast Fund Management are having none of the promise that the Finance Ministry is putting together a new bailout package in order to release their locked-up funds. This follows Vice President and NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia's recent announcement that the woes of the investors will soon be over once the new bailout is finalized. However, the aggrieved customers argue that the current hardships they face go beyond political promises, demanding that the government expedites efforts to pay them as soon as possible. Charles Nyame is convener of the aggrieved customers of Gold Coast Fund Management.
As far as we Gold Coast Fund Management customers we are concerned, we have passed the level of promises because we have received several promises from this government. None of them were fulfilled concerning our payment. We are telling Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia that we were expecting him to have come out to announce that they have credited all the accounts of Gold Coast Fund Management customers with the money due us. But given a very vague information that the Ministry of Finance is making what preparation again? That's the question. We are still standing by the ultimatum that we have given to the government. We want solution. And the only solution we are expecting is they should credit the accounts that they have already created for all the customers across the nation. That is the only thing we are expecting from them before the ultimatum that we have given them. Either than that, they have the whole 61,000 customers and our families to face us in the coming election.
You heard convener of the aggrieved customers of Gold Coast Fund Management, Charles Nyame. The Ghana Shippers Authority is upbeat about the economic potential of the Buankra Integrated Logistics Terminal Phase 1 of the project, which includes civil works, earthworks, road networks, drainage systems, and container freight terminals is about 50% complete. The over $330 million project was earlier projected to be ready by March this year. When completed, it will serve as an extension to the Tema port and facilitate transit trade between Ghana and its landlocked neighboring countries. CEO of the Ghana Shippers Authority, Kwesi Bafo Sapong, after assessing progress of work during an inspection, said government will meet all deadlines.
The project will be pivotal for handling imports and exports, particularly in the middle belt and northern regions of the country, and also our transit neighbors, including Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, which will further establish Ghana's role within the framework of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, which is headquartered in Ghana. With the project's proximity to major seaports and accessibility to road networks, the project would reduce significantly transportation costs and enhance operational efficiency at ports and alleviate congestion at the ports of Tema and Takra.
That's Kwesi Bafo Sapong, CEO of Ghana Shippers Authority. That's all for City Business News on Eyewitness News. The business news on Eyewitness News is brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan, make that big move and dream a reality. My name is Inusafo. Up next is Point Blank.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the whole family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Cause and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that? Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panzapa. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Hey, sorry. Chairman Mane? Chairman. Hey, Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Are you a contractor, builder, or a proud homeowner with an eye for quality and security? Well, look no further than Yale. Yale is a trusted name in security for over 180 years. When it comes to securing your home or business, trust Yale. We make security simple, and we're right here in the heart of Accra, Ghana. Visit our stunning showroom on 11th Lane Street, Inosu, Accra, and discover a world of premium Yale products, including door hardware, handles, and door locks that will elevate the security and style of your space. Whether you're building from scratch or renovating, Yale has the perfect solution for you. Our products are known for their durability, innovation, and most importantly, your peace of mind. Visit us today and experience the Yale difference. Your security, our priority. Yale, locking in your peace of mind.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
My guest tonight is a right-hand man of the Vice President. His name is Dr. Gideon Boako. He is also a parliamentary candidate. So he's campaigning with his boss and campaigning for himself. He's joining me in studio. Gideon, you're welcome to. In fact, I should not say Gideon. I say doctor because you have a PhD, Charlie, proper one.
Better say Gidi.
No, okay. Charlie, how are you?
Charlie, I cannot complain. I'm doing better,
How are you managing the campaign, the constituency, the campaign nationally? Let's start with the constituency. How is the constituency looking? You won properly. You defeated a minister of state. Charlie, you're a big man.
You put that aside.
No. You're a big man. How is the constituency looking?
Constituency is good. I actually returned from the constituency this afternoon. I've been there since Friday, taking part in the registration exercise. This is my second time of going to monitor what is happening. Because of the trial role, I should say, I'm working for government in Ghana, following the vice president and also doing my own campaign. So sometimes weekends I get the opportunity and the permission from the vice president to go back and engage my people. It's going well. It's been good.
Is your constituency a very certain NPP constituency or it switches? So how safe are you?
My constituency is NPP and shall forever remain.
Always been NPP?
It's since NPP decided to participate in the parliamentary elections from 1996, it has always been an NPP constituency. The NDC has never won that constituency before.
So you're sure that you can retain it for NPP?
Absolutely.
Things are looking good for you. Okay, let's talk about your boss now. Let's start off with what he did in Accra today. So he launched the Kayaye project for the Youth Employment Agency, Kofi Ejepon's YEA, organized that program at Medina Social Welfare. I was the MC, but since you are the organizer, I can question you as if I wasn't even there. Talk to us about the Kayayo plan by the Vice President. It was a promise. I've seen the first project being delivered.
Yeah, I remember in 2019, the Vice President paid a working visit to Aboboshi. And I was very instrumental in that particular exercise where we toured the whole of Aboboshi, spoke to them, engaged the community and all of that. But one thing became apparent during the conversations and engagements with the people of Aboboshi. We saw the large volumes of Kayaye people within that enclave and people who had traveled from far north to south to look for greener pastures, so to speak. And one of the key issues that the leadership of Aboboshi, the imams and the umaras and all of that put before the vice president was the plight of the Kayaye people. So right after that, we had a series of meetings at the office with the leadership of Aboboshi, and the same thing also came up again. And there was a request from the leadership then that if they could get a place of some kind of shelter for some of the people who come. At that time, the main concentration was on those who come down here for Kayaye, become pregnant, some of them become very ill, and they can no longer put up with living on the streets and the kiosk of people, and it becomes a problem for them. So some of the leaders had to accommodate some of them in their corridors, and it was a whole lot of bizarre description. So the vice president then decided that he will look around to see the possibility of getting some shelter for them. And so he made a kind of a statement to that effect. And once the statement came out, I remember you personally decided to go to Aboboshi, engage them, do some interviews there. And we got out of the media discussions. There were pundits who suggested it was not possible. Others said we could refine it this way. How are you going to put up a hostel to accommodate all these thousands, tens of thousands of people? Where are you going to site it? So in that kind of conversation, we felt there was a need to do something like that. And therefore, in the 2020 elections, there was a promise by this government, influenced by the vice president, who was the chairperson of the MPP 2020 manifesto, that giving the opportunity for the second time to President Akufo-Addo, the government was going to put up hostels for the Kayaye. And so after 2020, I remember there were a couple of media interviews and discussions as
hostels
to
no way.
Exactly, hostels no way and those kind of things. But we were working briskly on that. I should say that the project would have come to fruition a little bit earlier than what we saw today, but we've had issues with land. in Greater Accra, for instance. We started from Aboblushi. Land was given. It became a whole tussle. There was another consideration with the Roman Catholic Church, Father Campbell, and we wanted to do that jointly with the soup kitchen, Mother Teresa soup kitchen. There was some commitments from some of the landowners in Accra. At a point, it became a problem. I remember we had to go to Ashanti region. We were looking for land. We got some land at Bantama constituency. That one also, people living around complained that they will not allow that school park. It was a school park to be used for such a project. So it has been back and forth, and the main delaying factor was the land issue. Other than that, government was prepared. There was funding available for this to be done, and we thank God that after all the difficulties and the challenges, we had some clarity on the way, and this Medina one has been, commissioned today. I understand there are about 6 or 8 or so of such in Accra, 6 in Ashanti region, 2 in the Bono region, which will come up very soon. And I think that I'm excited today because I also feel our brothers and sisters need this kind of facility. And it's not just a shelter to accommodate people, but also a training center to give them some kind of employable skills.
So they will sleep there and also be trained there.
Exactly, and it has a whole lot of you had opportunity to tour the facilities or the clinics or the state of the art environment, chairs and all of that, provided accommodation. And I think if I were Kaya here today, I'll be very excited because I know not all of them will have the opportunity to benefit from this particular facility at Medina, but the ones that are coming up, the majority of them. And this is going to be more or less like a training center. You come in cohorts, and once your cohort is done, you acquire the skills, different skills.
So it's not as if they close from Accra Central, Tudu, and all those places and have to go there and go and sleep and come back in the morning. That's not the plan. The plan is you bring them in and train them. Is that the plan?
Yeah, that's basically the plan, because you don't also want to create an environment where you provide, let's say, a substrate or platform for the influx, that kind of migration.
Mm-hmm.
So those who are here already, you need to find ways to get them employed to do something else, and as they are leaving the Kaya business, then maybe others can also replace. You don't want them to remain there and be there, and others are also coming to add up, and within a year or so you have that kind of
but the next question is, or the bigger question is, instead of accommodating them here, why don't you prevent them from coming, so that bridging the north-south divide, the rural-urban drift, why don't you provide opportunities for them in Wali, for instance, so that they don't have to come to Accra and be struggling to go and sleep in a storage building?
It's a whole economic situation, and where economics play critical roles in the lives of people, prevention and putting constraints on the part of people becomes problematic. Let's also admit that they are also part of the job market ecosystem and the whole human society. I mean, you may have the money to buy a car. You may need somebody to work on the car for you as a mechanic, or somebody at the car washing bay to wash it for you. So at any point in time, somebody needs help, whether you're a big man or you're a low class person. So the services that they also provide are also needed for the economy to boom. So one way or the other, you need people like that. But the question is, if somebody lives in, let's say, Sisala, and feels that I have to come to Accra to do something else, the intent may not even be coming to do Kaya, but to come and visit an uncle, or to do something else, do a shoe shine, or do another thing, or come and look for money to go to school. When the person gets here, whether it becomes a trotro mate or a kaya, you don't have restriction over that. So no matter what you do, as for migration and people moving from one place to the other, whether to fit in the level that they are supposed to fit in or go down to do something else. You can't prevent that. But once it happens, what can you do to salvage the situation, to also ensure that they have the proper means of settlement and the proper means of living? So this is basically why we are creating that. Other than that, they will come and you leave them to their fate and they become sick, they die, and all of that. You don't want that to happen. So what government is trying to do is that, yes, I mean, just as you may be happy to see a medical doctor move from US to come and settle in Ghana to work, the same way you should feel happy that somebody has moved up north down here to be a Kaya person. That is also the work that he or she can do at this material point in time. It doesn't mean that that will be the end of it all. Some of them graduate, get over this, go to school. I mean, I have been a trotro mate in Kumasi before. By the time I moved from my village, Boma, to go to Kumasi to become a trotro mate, I didn't go there to become a trotro mate. I went there because I had finished senior high school. There was no money to take me to school. I needed to do something to get money to go to school. I got there, so chewing gum and hacks at funerals, did some kind of teaching, did some trotro mate, and I got the money to go to school. Today I'm sitting here. So if at that time somebody had not provided a conducive environment for me to live, I wouldn't have been here as I am. So they also come here to do something with the hope of getting something better. So we don't have to leave them to their fate to say that you don't qualify to be here or you're not supposed to be. You have to prevent.
So let's move from the Youth Employment Agency and the Kayayo project. Let's talk about the DMB campaign. He's been doing a nationwide tour. What has been the feedback and reactions from people so far?
I think the best description is what you can picture in your own eyes and your assessment and how people see the whole movement and the engagement. For me, it has been super, super amazing. It has been fantastic. And I must say that at the beginning of it, I never thought it was going to be like this. The kind of reception and the acceptance level of the vice president is something that consoles me. It gives me an impression that irrespective of how you see things and how people assess their own economic situations, there is some level of confidence and trust in the persona of the vice president, that people think that this is a gentleman who came to the table highly, in a manner that people never thought he could fit very well. And he has discharged himself and exercised his right as vice president in a way that people see that, look, if you give this guy a chance, he can do something great. Because as we move around from chiefs to clergy, the imam, and all the young people that we meet, I mean, they say that, look, we know politicians can say things and do otherwise. We know politicians can promise big and deliver small, but in his, that is Baumia's rightful capacity as the vice president, yes, he's not been able to do everything that we thought he could do, but if they want to assess him relative to what has happened in the past, then they can say that there's the vice president who has distinguished himself so well and done so much that relatively they cannot compare any other vice president to what he's done. And if that is anything to go by, then it means that given the opportunity, if he's been able to distinguish himself in the capacity as vice president the way he has done, then it means that he can also do something great as a president of this country. There are those who believe that Bawumia has been the most impactful vice president Ghana has ever had. And if that is anything to go by, then it goes without saying that if he's been the most impactful vice president, then it means given the opportunity, he can be the most impactful president.
But the campaign itself has thrown out a few things. It's shown him some smoothness level, some turbulence. For instance, that town hall meeting you do with the youth, you call it the Youth Connect. Are you sure he's ready to be taking questions from the public, considering that student, that nursing training college student, the question that she put up, some critics say that it humiliated the vice president. Are you sure that's an approach you should be adopting, considering that there may be mega questions of this government that he may not be able to answer, like the one that we saw where he said he would have to defer to the finance minister?
In fact, I have been expecting tougher questions than even what people have asked so far. You understand? And he is skin ready to deal with any question that comes. Of course, the ones that he has to make honest admission, he would do so. He is not to suggest to people that he's a repository of knowledge or he has done everything or this government has done everything. The question that the student asks, for me, I don't see the fires about that question. The student asks about the nursing trainee allowance. Of course, the vice president had spoken about the allowance already, and that student said that she had not received her allowance. That was not far from what we knew, because the vice president knew perfectly that the allowance was restored by this government, and that there's no question about that, and has been paid, yet there are some delays. So the fact that the student said she had not received the allowance at the time did not go
throughout a 4-year or 3-year study. That's a problem.
And that is not
an
true.
arrears for 3 years or 4 years.
That is something that, because the vice president, he didn't have to challenge the student that way. But honestly, that is not true. That somebody has gone to school for 4 years and has not received the allowance.
Not a single person. You have that on record.
That statement from the student cannot be true.
So if we call that student and said it should
look, absolutely.
Or if we went to the school, there can be records to show
that statement cannot be true.
So when I coming out with the records to prove that what she said is a lie.
What is true is that they have some delays, and I understand from November last year or so. It cannot be true.
So why would she say that if it's not true?
Well, I don't know.
She's a young girl.
To be honest with you, I don't know. But I mean, I'm telling you this, it cannot be true.
Do you think she was sent to say that then?
I don't think so. You know, sometimes we have all been students and been in this capacity before. You have prepared your minds to go and ask a question, sometimes stage flight, the crowd. So you are not able to, it could be, you're not able to organize your thoughts very well. You may say something and go back.
She sounded very well organized. She was certain. She even used a slang.
That's fine. But I'm saying that it cannot be true.
Okay.
That for 4 years, she's not received allowance at all. She can talk about delays. And that is why I'm sure surprised the vice president. He said, if that is the case, I'll ask the finance minister.
The other issue is with the management of taxing or giving incentives to the church. What is the vice president trying to say? Use our tax money to give to the church?
No. He's not saying that. You know, if I give you incentive, okay, it's just like the economists and accountants will talk about economic profit and accounting profit. A lot of, the accountants like to deal with accounting profit because those are the real ones. The economic profit, opportunity cost, the economists can even describe it as, part of your revenue, because that is something you forgo for doing another thing else. So what the vice president is saying is that if you look at religious bodies and the roles that they play in this country, they do so much. The Catholic Church, the schools they are built, the Presby, Pentecost, and all of that. So they are development agents, honestly. So the vice president says that he thinks he's going to have what he calls the golden age of relationship with the faith-based organizations, and he thinks that when development agents like DFID, UNICEF, and all of that are bringing staff into the country to build schools, build hospitals, do some development projects, if they qualify for some tax incentives, why don't we also give same to Ghanaian religious bodies? Because mind you, most of these development agents also come through missionaries and all of that. So why don't we do same for the faith-based organizations in the country, so that they can also have some of these, freedom in terms of taxes to do more for the country? So that's the kind of collaboration he is seeking to have in partnership with the church and all other faith-based organizations. Because look, the church and the the faith-based organizations have built more schools in this country than any other person has built. So it means they need some level of, government support. The government does not have money to give to them. Give them the incentives. Let them benefit from the same things that the international development agents also benefit from. So we describe this as domestic development agents, and they also qualify to have some of these.
So you're not going to put them on salary. That's not what it means.
Not at all. Not at all.
Someone just prompted me that what the vice president said about the the nursing trainees, that their monies were going to be paid by Thursday, and that the trainees are saying that money has not been paid.
No. People they didn't understand the vice. The vice president didn't say that. He said that the transfer of the money is going to be done to the accounts of the controller on Thursday, and once the money hits, it has to be transferred, for processing. And so he said that tentatively the payment will be done this week. He said that.
Okay. So the trainee should expect the payment this week, not last week, Thursday.
No, not at all.
What's the next agenda? If he finishes this roundup, the next big agenda, people are waiting for your running mate. Are you not being able to decide on a running mate?
I thought you nominated the running mate.
I did, but it didn't happen. So when is your running mate coming?
It will come very soon.
Are you pressurized?
He or she will come very soon.
Oh, it's a he. Oh, now there's a she inside. Okay, at least we've heard that there could be a she. Because Mama has brought a she. People are waiting for you to also bring a she.
He or she will come very soon.
Is it that there's so much pressure the vice president cannot make up his mind, or he's made up his mind but doesn't want to announce it? What's happening?
No, the vice president has been very clear on who to be his running mate long.
So he knows.
He knows, absolutely.
Do you know?
You want me to tell you something?
Yeah, please say. Give me a clue.
I won't give you.
Is it a man or a woman?
I don't trust you that much.
Dr. Gideon Boako, spokesperson, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, thank you so much for joining us on Point Blank.
Thank you so much.
So that's Ogidi Gidi. He was my guest for Point Blank. My name is Umaru Sandamadu. I did this with Eno Safo. Production by Kobna Wilson, Sami Wiafe, Beverly London, and Chris Asima. Technical support from Desmond Nyako and the technical team. Edwin Kwakofi supported us on the technical new media side of things. We'll be back tomorrow at 17:30 GMT. Up next is Pitchside Podcast with the City Sports team. Stay with us.